In this example, I'm going to try and explain why this method is a poor technique. If this were like a plug-in, you'd want all these holes to line up so that whatever's going into it is going to fit. With this dimensioning, the tolerance is going to create a situation where the parts are not going to mate if they go to the minimum or maximum conditions of the tolerances. So let me try and further explain that. See, what was I going to show? The tolerance block on the very bottom of your canvas. In case you forgot that, we set a tolerance block to be plus or minus 0.3. Okay, for two-place dimensioning. So if this were a regular ANSI-ASME drawing, you have two-place dimensioning or two-place precision, regardless as to whether it's ANSI or ASME. So it's always plus or minus 30 thou for the most part when you're working on most machine stuff. So I will go, oops.
What am I right now?
I will go and put in a dimension. I'm going to dimension the length of that axis, which is point to point, okay? So I'll put it up here, and I'll double click it to make it a reference call out, so it won't be purple anymore. Okay, so what that means is it's a driven dimension. These dimensions that are not with parentheses are driving dimensions. So according to this, I want this hole and this hole to be 3 inches apart. No more than 3.03 and no less than 2.97. If I create another dimension, I want to do a dimension. I'm going to try and get this point. Oh boy, am I going to get it to this point over here? And I'm going to click here, right click on this dimension and see if I can't right click on this dimension and see if I can't force that to go horizontal or vertical. Why is that not showing up? I'll try it one more time. I don't see it's usually I have an option here to force horizontal or vertical. So what I'll do here, I'm just going to create an axis from here to here, let's say, and then create a constraint to this center point if I can get it. Remember how it does not like to get that center point? I'll have to try and select that point. I got it, and then I'll go to dimension and go here, click a position, and again I'll double click it to change that to a reference call out. So in the perfect world, this dimension is going to be 1.5 and 3 inches to get these things here to fit. Okay, if I change this to the minimum condition, which would be minus 0.3, from the 0.5 you get 0.47. I was afraid of that. Let's try and get this line. I don't know why I didn't default to vertical. I'm gonna I'm going to select that line and go to the dialog box and try and force that to go vertical. Ugh. See if I can force that vertical right now. Let's see if I can delete this tangency it created. Okay. Oh, did I just delete the line? I think I did. If I was smart, I would move this out of the way here. Let's try and recreate that vertical line. Yeah, it should have been vertical. I don't know why it wasn't vertical last time. But I want a constraint from this point. Oh, I missed it. A constraint from that center point to this vertical line. Make it a reference call out. Slide this back up. Okay, so in a perfect world, this is going to be 3 1/2 inches. So if I change this to 0.47, see this? Oops, not 47. Sorry. All right, I did 7.5 on 4.47. Can't type here. 0.47. You see that I'm already at maximum condition between the holes, what they're supposed to be. It's supposed to be no greater than 303. And now this hole from here to here is 1.53. And I got to create another axis here. And see if I can't constrain to that point. Please let me get it. No, you won't. You just won't let me get it. So I gotta hit constraint again. I gotta make sure this box isn't on. Try and get that point first. I think I got that point, and I can go to constraint and constrain to this axis. And this is 1.5. Again, we'll make it a reference call out. So if the shop missed at that 0.5, which they don't always hit exactly on the number, they are allowed that 0.47 slot, I'm still within engineering tolerance. Okay, but when I go to plug this in, it's already not going to fit that great. And then if this 3.50, if I add 0.3 to that, so that's 0.53. Now, from the center of this hole to here is 1.53, and the center of this hole to here is 1.53, making this 3.06 up here. Now I'm outside the tolerance. So this is a terrible way to dimension this, because if the shop went from minimum condition here at 0.47, maximum condition here at 3.53, the distance between my holes are going to be greater than I really want. I'm going to be 30 thou more than what I can really take. And whatever's plugging into this is just not going to fit. It would line up to the center hole, but these are not going to fit. They're going to be too far apart. So really, this should be a reference call out, or not even on this, to be honest. And this one here, I'll make it a reference call out. And this one here will stay reference, but this one here will no longer be a reference. And this one here will no longer be a reference. So really, I want to control that with this dimension. I want that 3-inch dimension here, and I want an 1.5 inch dimension here. Okay, so ideally, you're controlling this hole from here to here and from here to here. So you dimension from the center out. Okay. So if I want this part to be symmetrical, this 4-inch dimension and this 2-inch dimension is what keeps it symmetrical. Because I'm going from here to here at 2, and from the outside edge to the outside edge at 4. Again, to try and reiterate that, if I tried to do a dimension from this center point to this edge, and I double click this and I make it a reference call out, if this one equals this one over here, did that do it all right? Equals this one over here, and I select OK. Maximum condition 2.03. If that were 203 and this were 203, this goes to 406. And that's not what I'm looking for. Minimum condition would be 1.97. And now I'm at 394 for the overall size of the part. So that is why we dimension this thing the way I'm showing you symmetrically. So in real life, this one here wouldn't exist. This one here wouldn't exist. This one here would not exist. This one here would not exist. And you really are dimensioning from this center line, which really creates this center line to be a datum. Okay? So again, I dimension from the center of the hole to the next hole, and then I dimension hole to hole to force that to be no greater than 3.03 or 2.97. Whereas this one down here, this one should not be a reference. It's a hard call out. And I make this 4 inches. And I make this 2 inches. So I'm dimensioning from center to edge and then edge to edge. And that is how this part really should be done.